Today we say goodbye to FIFA 23 and our My Player Career Mode journey, and we have a very special match to say goodbye with. The 2030 World Cup, England take on Portugal right here today. Sit back, relax, and enjoy, my friends. Welcome back, everyone, to our My Player Career Mode for the final time in FIFA 23, because in a few days' time, AFC 24 is coming out. And the very next video you will see on the channel will be from AFC 24. So if you like my videos and you're not already subscribed, feel free to do so. Activate the notification bell as well so you don't miss any of the future videos coming on the channel. I do have big plans for AFC 24 and beyond. And I want to say a massive thank you as well for all of your support over the last year, and hopefully it continues into the new game. I am thankful for each and every one of you who support me and take your time to watch these videos. And hopefully I've been able to entertain you with any of the episodes we've had this year. One final episode to come today. The World Cup final, a chance to be a double World Cup winner with England following our 2026 World Cup win. Standing in our way, though, is a Portugal side who have got our teammate at PSG, the man who was instrumental, so important in our treble victory for PSG, including that Champions League win for the first time in our career. You know who I'm talking about. Villarreal will play for Portugal here today. So only one of us will be able to lift this World Cup trophy. As always, I hope that you're all doing fantastic and having an awesome day. Let's take a look at how both sides reached this final today. If you missed the previous episode, we played through the entirety of the World Cup up until the final stage, so you can see the video and the matches if you go back to the previous episode, but I'll quickly run you through what happened. Group stage, we were drawn in Group E with Morocco, Canada and Scotland. We won all three of our games, topping the group. Meanwhile, over in Group B, Portugal would face USA, New Zealand and Hungary, winning 2, drawing 1. They didn't lose, and yeah, they topped their group as well. Into the round of 16, and I want to make a point here to show you this. The goals conceded for Portugal, only 3 conceded in the group stages, and so far, that's the only 3 goals they have conceded. They have not conceded a goal in the entirety of the knockout rounds. So England will have to be at their best today in order to find a way through what seems to be a very good Portugal defence. Into the round of 16, a 5-0 victory over Mexico would book our spot in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, Portugal would knock out Spain with a 2-0 win. And then the quarterfinals, we play Italy. And actually, I've just said about Portugal's great defensive record. We conceded 1 in the group stages, and so far, as of the quarterfinals, that's the only goal we conceded. So 2 very good defences, it seems like, then on show for this final. Portugal knocked out Brazil with a 2-0 win in the quarterfinals. That takes us through to the semi-finals, where we would play the United States, winning 4-1. Portugal would play Argentina. I made a point in the previous episode as well of talking about, you know, the previous matches that these two sides would have featured against each other. The big talking point would have been Ronaldo against Messi. But in 2030, both players now retired. Both teams without those players. Portugal came out on top with a 1-0 win. And into then the third place, which we do know, Argentina won by 2-1. I'm pretty certain we saw that in the previous video. And that, my friends, takes us into this final then. So as I say, Portugal, 3 goals conceded throughout. We've only conceded 2. One of those in the semi-final to the United States. So 2 solid defences on show here for this final. I don't think there's anything else to say then, and it's time to get this final underway. England's team on the left, Portugal's on the right. These are probable lineups though, so we'll get a better look at the guaranteed starting 11 once we are into the game. It might be a special way to say goodbye to the series with a World Cup win, or will we see Leao lift the trophy with Portugal? He starts on the left for them, we start on the right for England. And there it is, look. It's the World Cup trophy, the biggest prize in world football. England starting 11 then, Ramsdale in goal, a back 4 of Ben Chilwell, Tomori, White and Alexander-Arnold. A midfield trio, Bellingham, Scott, Mason Mount. Front 3, Foden, Geldart and us. With a very strong England bench, to be fair. So all of those players, very, very good if we need any reinforcements during the game. And for many of these players, it's the biggest game of their careers. How many players, though, can say they've played in 1 World Cup final, let alone 2? Well, we can say that. And by the end of today, we might be able to say we've won 2 World Cups in our career, which would be some achievement. England could win their 3rd of all time here today. Here is the Portugal side that stands in their way, though. Costa in goal. A back 4, Mendes, Diaz, Inacio and Dalot. very, very good. We knew that, though. Midfield 3, Vitinha, Neves, and Nunez. And the front 3 is Leao, Mendes, and Goncalves. I thought Felix might start, but no, Goncalves gets the nod in this World Cup final. And we are underway then in this World Cup final. Let's see how both sides choose to approach this. Portugal in the red, England in the white. And who will be the side who is the braver of the two early on here to try and go forwards and look for a chance? Well, England seem to be quite set in their early defensive formation. That's a brilliant tackle by Tomori, to be fair. Bellingham now to Foden, now to Geldart. Bellingham will play it forward to myself. I've got Alexander-Arnold making the overlapping run. Tried to find him. Poor ball. Mendes gets there first. And first sight of the ball for myself wasn't great. Here is Mount. Chance to play it down the line for myself. Little ball roll back inside, away from Nuno Mendes. And finding the pass now to Alex Scott, who's into a great position. Questionable goalkeeping, though, from Costa, as he tried to close the angle down, and he was getting nowhere near the ball. And Alex Scott will provide the finish for England. What on earth is Costa doing there? I mean, yes, it's good play as he ball roll inside of Nuno Mendes, but then the chance here for Scott looked to have gone. All Costa has got to do is protect his near post. He doesn't do that. And I'm afraid in a World Cup final, that is not good enough from Portugal's number one. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, though, because 9 minutes on the clock when Scott scores. So there's still 80 minutes to play here, and I'm sure Portugal will create. Leao looking to do just that as the game's back underway here. Rafa Leao goes back the way of Nuno Mendes. Mendes now supporting from left back. Leao away from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Good work here by Rafa Leao. Ball into the box. Mendes. Mendes will turn. Find Vitinha. Back the way of Leao. Back the way of Vitinha. Portugal trying to find a chance, but at the moment picking too many passes. The break could now be on for England as Scott will find us. We're away from Nuno Mendes. A heavy touch though. We will get there ahead of Ruben Dias. And now as we look towards the box, who's in there? It's Joe Gelhardt. And Costa does better this time around. Much, much better. As he makes the save, Joe Gelhardt nearly makes it 2 for England. I say nearly. The save was made. It was fairly routine, to be fair. He should have done that for the opening goal. But even so, he didn't. And that's why England lead. Leao, what a pass. Nuno Mendes. I thought he'd be offside. He wasn't, and Ramsdale has to save. I'll hold my hands up and apologise. I just didn't track the run of Nuno Mendes. I wasn't expecting the pass to find him from Leao. You can see I put my hand up for the offside. Decision not given. And a big moment by Aaron Ramsdale to keep the score at 1-0. And the game is well and truly into life now then. Portugal responding well. This is a corner for them. Pedro Goncalves into a really good position. Finds Neves. Neves now into the area of England. Looks for the shot. We will block and come away with possession as well. And actually find the pass out to Foden. Who'll find Scott. Foden. Now Chilwell. Now Scott. I made the run. The pass was on, but we didn't play it yet. And that's why I've had to turn back here and look to restart for England. Here is Joe Gelhardt, now found Foden. Gelhardt goes for it for first time. Told him to shoot, maybe didn't have to, but I didn't think he was away from the challenge, and that's why I told him to shoot. And in the end, it's narrowly wide, but wow, this game, 18 minutes in, chances flowing for both sides. So far, just the single goal though. Portugal looking to break with Vitinha, now finding Mendes. Mendes finds Goncalves! It is a rocket from Pedro Goncalves! And the scores are level. And moments before this, I am the one who gave away the ball. Oh, it was horrendous from me. I got the ball on the right-hand side, tried to pick the pass inside towards Gelhardt, gave it away. Admittedly, they still had a lot of work to do here, Portugal, in order to be able to find that chance. It wasn't as if I gave away the ball and it was a clear-cut chance. They still had to find a couple of passes later, but they picked them well, and Pedro Goncalves, absolute rocket, draws Portugal level. Again, I'll hold my hands up and apologise because I gave away the ball. It was around this area. But yeah, so, man, not what you want to see. As again, Nuno Mendes is in quickly. I just can't seem to hold onto the ball at the moment, but I'm trying to improve. Have set up one goal here today, admittedly. Should have been saved, but other than that, I've not had a great performance in the opening 25 minutes. Vitinha with a shot from distance. Leao now finds Matheus Nunes. And England have got away with another one. Ramsdale, the shot was straight at him. Right, let's improve. Because as I say, had a bit of a poor start to the game. Another misplaced pass. What is going on with me? Sort yourself out, DJ. Wow, what am I doing? Anyway, here is Mendes. It's 2-1. It's 2-1. It's 2 mistakes from me. Compose yourself. I mean, again, it's a good finish by Portugal, but there's still so much work to do in order to find the chance, even after I've given away the ball. But they do it, and it's 2-1 in the blink of an eye. This game, there's going to be goals. You sense it because both teams are creating chances. But I'm frustrated with myself, and I apologise because my start to this game, other than setting up that early chance, has not been good. I've given away possession far too much than I should have been doing. And unfortunately for me, Portugal have punished those mistakes. So let's just calm ourselves, compose ourselves, and get back to it. What on earth was that by Alex Scott? Talking about composing yourself. Mendes, now Mateus Nunes. Nunes will pick out Vitinha. That's good by Tomori to win it back for England. We're away from the challenge. We'll play Geldart. And now then, what can he do from this position? Portugal with bodies back behind the ball. England needing to create a chance. Bellingham, Joe Gelhardt again. We're out on the right-hand side. There's that pass from him. Alexander-Arnold on the overlap for England. Goes inside to Scott. Scott will pick us out. Near post effort. Costa saves. I thought that was the moment to redeem myself. Find England the equaliser, but no, Costa has other ideas. Corner ball in for England. We will challenge for the header. It will fall the way of Mason Mount again. Another chance. This time we've hit the bar. This final is not my final in the opening half an hour. Much better from us, though. I am beginning to sort of grow into the game. And England now are 10 minutes away from half-time. We're 2-1 scoreline, not the end of the world, but I would like an equaliser before the break just to kind of set up a bit of nerves for Portugal heading into the half-time whistle. Vitinha has found the ball forwards. Nunes finds Mendes. Now Goncalves for Portugal. And we are 8 minutes away from said half-time whistle with Rafael picking out Vitinha, and Ramsdale is heroic for England. Runners from midfield causing us problems. Final few moments of this first half. England still 2-1 down, searching for an equaliser before the break, as Portugal have done well to see out this first half. Alexander-Arnold towards Scott to Foden. Ruben Dias position to block. Not sure he knew much about it though, but England will finish off the first half quite strongly with a chance late on, blocked by Dias. I'm positive heading into half-time. Didn't start the game well, hit the bar after 35 minutes. Started to grow into this better, but we still need a big second half from myself and from England. 45 crucial minutes coming your way. Both managers have had their say. We are back out for the second half, and actually been told to play almost central midfield alongside Jude Bellingham and Mason Mount now, as Scott has sort of gone to right wing. Not sure what the boss is thinking, but he's changed formation, and that's told me to play deeper. But we're still going to look for a chance here. Joe Gelhardt will find us as we are into the Portuguese penalty area. And there's the goal. And that is the response that I needed. Build confidence. Don't know why I had such a poor start, but there it is. Finally, we pop up with a big moment for England. And you know what? At first, I thought I actually took the touch too close to Inacio. But no, that last little touch there, back on the left. And then the finish into the bottom corner is wonderful. England 2, Portugal 2, right at the start of this second half. Forget about me playing central midfield because we pop up in a striking position there and we finish. What a game in this final so far we have seen then. 4 goals. Bearing in mind both teams only conceded 5 total goals across the whole competition so far. And we've seen 4 in just this final today. Mason Mount for England. We're back to playing right wing. Joe Gelhardt. Now we'll find Scott. Scott will find us. I saw Foden on the mini-map, but actually when I went to play it, it would have been offside, so we'll instead hold on to it for the moment. Find Chilwell. Chilwell will play Scott again. And now Bellingham. To Mount. To Gelhardt. To Scott! It was magnificent from England, but it's even better by Costa, who redeems himself, you could say, for his first goal that he let in, because that save has been incredible for Portugal. I thought that was going to be England in front. We go back out wide here for Mason Mount. Mount into the area for Foden. Foden picks out Gelhardt! England 3, Portugal 2. The tides have turned in this final. Portugal, it's over to you. What have you got then? And finals are often where you have to be mentality monsters. England finding themselves 2-1 down after the first half. Swiftly respond at the break with 2 goals at the start of the second half. And Gareth Southgate's men at the moment are 3-2 up in this final. But the question remains, will the goals be done there? Because I'm not sure they will be. Right, here come Portugal then. Pedro Goncalves. Chilwell with a challenge. Maybe a bit of a foul. Not given though, as here is Tomori. And now Bellingham for England. Possession-wise, not a lot in it. Mount, Bellingham, Geldart looking for the ball through. Inacio steps in. And here is Ruben Dias then to take Portugal forwards with still 34 minutes of the game to be played. There's definitely time for more goals in this. Here is Leao trying to provide some inspiration. Lovely ball by Neves, finding Diogo Dalot. Right-hand side, goes back as that ball into the box is cut out by Tomori, but pressure put on him here. Has to be calm, he is calm. Now Chilwell will find Bellingham. Bellingham giving it away. Here is Nunez. Uncharacteristic mistake by Jude Bellingham. Nunez goes for the effort over the bar. And Bellingham will hold his hands up and apologise, but we got away with it, fortunately for us. Saka comes on for Alex Scott. As I say, so uncharacteristic for Jude Bellingham, who's had a fantastic tournament all throughout. Bellingham, Gelhardt, Mount, Gelhardt, brilliant. England come forwards. Foden's waiting in the middle. Can I pick him out though? The question, I can! Phil Foden, England 4, Portugal 2. Is that the goal that sinks Portugal? I thought initially we hadn't found him. I thought the pass just didn't have enough on it. I was just trying to put it with pace, but we didn't get enough pace on the pass. Instead, we pick out Foden and somehow he gets there. I need to look at it here. Oh, it's Inacio. He just doesn't realise that Foden's behind him. And he tries to clear with that left boot. But then Foden just nicks in ahead of him, behind him. And then finishes. Inacio wasn't aware he was running behind him. And England have got their fourth. It's a 2-goal advantage now with 20 minutes to go. Portugal need some big inspiration. Vitinha. Now Goncalves, 5th goal of the World Cup campaign for Phil Foden, who was brilliant in the group stages, scoring the early goal to set us up in those group stage matches. Now Diogo Dalot down the right-hand side. Portugal still feeling that there is chances left in this game for them, and you understand why, because there's so much quality they've got on the pitch. Matheus Nunes inside towards Neves. Neves inside to Leao. Leao then looking to turn, but can't because England make sure of that. That's a strike from distance! And Ramsdale saves. And to be honest, Portugal there nearly back in this. Big moment from Aaron Ramsdale. Saka's ball. Can't get there ahead of Ruben Dias. Neves will find Goncalves. Goncalves towards Nunez. Nunez has to go back out to Neves. Now to Vitinha. The shot could be on for Vitinha. It is. And Ramsdale will palm. But I don't think he should have done. That didn't really look like a great shot. As you can see, Vitinha's had 5 shots. We've had 3 for England, scoring one of those goals. Then the other 2, of course, hit the bar with 1, saved by Costa on the other. Saka's ball forward as we look to break from the corner. England now then. Forwards we go. Ball roll back inside. Space will open up for us. And Portugal in real trouble here as we're bearing down on their goal. And there's the 5th for England. It looked all too easy, but tired legs against the pace. And England have a 5th. And sometimes a ball roll is just the simple skill move you need in order to carve open the space. Portugal up from the corner. Got broke, and now it looks too big a task for them to come back here. I will say sorry to my teammate Rafa Leao for not allowing him to win the World Cup, but at the same time, you've got to do what you've got to do. And England have found the goals when it's mattered. Portugal have had their chances. Ramsdale's made a couple of saves. Costa's made a few of his own as well, so it's not as if England have dominated this final, even though the scoreline might suggest so. Portugal have been in this game. Mendes in quickly was Ben White. Will now play it to Sancho. Sancho finds Gelhardt. England on the break again. You can see Portugal sending their players forwards has meant that they are exposed at the back. The rebound will fall for Gelhardt. And Costa saves. Portugal throwing bodies forward. You can see England now having the freedom to break. Jota on for Goncalves. It's a poor corner, but Neves will clear. It'll fall our way, and it's set up pretty nicely for the volley. I had to go for it, you know. We're 5-2 up, and it would have been a worldie if we'd have been able to pull it off, but it's a poor shot by all accounts. We do win it back really well, though. Now the ball into the box for Sancho! Oh! Jadon Sancho finds a 6th. What a ball! And when you think back to the start I've made to the final and how frustrated I was with myself, well, the second half, we have truly turned it around. Jadon Sancho pops up with England's 6th. 5 minutes or so to play now. Portugal do get the game back underway, but now they must be thinking it's over, if they weren't already. And England will win a World Cup for the 3rd time in their history. Our 2nd as a player. It's a fantastic way to say goodbye, but also at the same time, it wasn't the be-all and end-all here to win this. I was happy with how the series has gone and what we've won, especially now that we were able to win the Champions League. Having already won 1 World Cup, I wouldn't have been so disheartened as Mendes will score for Portugal to make it 6-3. I would not have been so disheartened had we have lost today, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And of course, I am buzzing to win another World Cup, as Mendes will celebrate with the boys here to find that finish for Portugal. It's 6-3, but with 2 minutes to go, there is no way back now. Nicely worked, but one of the only times they've been able to beat Ramsdale. He's had a couple of big moments, the England goalkeeper, Mendes, with his second of the game. And you know what? England don't do finals without goals. If I remember rightly, the 2026 World Cup final was very much the same. A lot of goals on show, but here today we've had 9, 6 in favour of England, 3 in favour of Portugal, and 3 additional minutes as we see out the game here. And it will be an England corner to finish. A minute and a half to play. We'll send it into the box. There's the ball in. It's not won by England. Inacio sends it forward. Jota now has it into the final minute of the game. And any moment, that will be that. We'll be crowned World Cup winners for the second time. I thank you all for your incredible support over the series. This is the end. And it's a beautiful way to finish with our second World Cup as a player. Appreciate each and every one of you who've supported the series, and I can't wait to get going in EFC 24. England, enjoy the moment. Commiserations to Portugal, and of course, to our friend Rafa Leao. There we are, sat alongside Gareth Southgate for the second time in the World Cup. We have won the trophy, player of the tournament. We got that as well, although we didn't start too great in the final. We certainly had our say, 2 goals, 3 assists, I believe, at the end of the game in the 6-3 win. As you can see, team of the tournament was all Portugal and England, the 2 teams that made the final. So you can see both sides deserving of the place in the final. And although we did win it 6-3, as I say, Portugal had their moments. It could have so easily been a different story, but it was England who came out on top. And, my friends, we are going to take a look through our career and talk about season upon season. First thing we need to do, though, is show you the player growth. And this is how our player finishes. 94 overall. You can see there our stats. I am going to show you the skill tree as well. I don't think I've changed this now for around about 30 episodes or so. Maybe I'm mistaken. But yeah, this has been what I've kind of gone with for the longest time I can remember. If you want to take a look in more detail at any of these particular skill areas, then pause the video. So physical, there you go. Defending, we have absolutely no points in defending. Dribbling is there for you. Now we move to passing, where we've got a point in everything, but not quite fully maxed. You can see on the left-hand side there a couple of points missing. Shooting, that's the skill tree we've got for shooting. Decided to take away points out of free kick accuracy, as I was just not too great at them, to be honest. Pace, fully maxed, and of course nothing into goalkeeping. I also am aware that I could have had a higher rating. For example, if I change my height down to 5'4", I would go to 95 overall, but I decided to stick with 5'10". It's my height in real life, so yeah, I just thought keep it the same, and that's how I went with. So there you go. I could have had a higher overall, but I was happy with 94, and it worked out well. Perks, poacher, tireless runner, distance shooter, and that's what I had to finish. And it's time to take a look then at our career from the very start, the beginning of our journey, way back in episode 1 now, almost a year ago. We started at Palace, where we played 11 times in season number 1, scoring 3 goals, 5 assists. Then we picked up that injury, didn't we, which kept us out for the rest of the season. But it was a promising start to life at Crystal Palace, one we could very much build upon in season 2. Palace finishing 13th in the Premier League meant we headed into season 2, still in the Prem, looking to build on our promising start, back from injury, hoping to stay injury-free, and we played 23 times, scoring 19, assisting 8, which already is some crazy, crazy numbers for the start of a career. Finishing in 11th, I say finishing, as of January, Palace were 11th, because in January, we had an offer to go to sunny Spain, which we took, and we joined Villarreal. And gotta say, the football we played at Villarreal at times was outstanding. It was one of the most enjoyable parts of the series. It was a shame, though, we didn't win a trophy with Villarreal. I would have loved to have won something with them. When we joined in January, we went on to finish 4th in La Liga. 18 goals, 15 assists in 24 matches. So I was very much looking forward to moving into our first full season with Villarreal, having high hopes to potentially go on and win something. Europa League, we're finishing round of 16, which I hoped we'd go on to win it, but that wasn't to be. Right, first full season, 24-25 at Villarreal. We'd go on to finish 3rd in La Liga, reaching the quarterfinals of the Champions League, round of 32 of the Copa de España, but no trophy. 53 appearances, 50 goals, 30 assists is a remarkable season. And yet, that wasn't even our best season as a player. So that just shows you the fact we didn't win anything and still put up numbers like that. Incredible. Into 25-26. We started the season with Villarreal, but we didn't stay there because we had an offer to come back to England, joining Liverpool, where we would win our first trophy as a player, finishing 1st in the Premier League, but still the Champions League. We played in the Champions League for Villarreal in the first full season we had, finishing in the quarterfinals. That was our first kind of taste of Champions League football. The reason I say still is because we know how long it took us to win a Champions League, because then at Liverpool we'd only reached the round of 16. But this year would be the year we'd go on to win the World Cup with England for the first time in 2026. 58 appearances, 55 goals, 27 assists for Liverpool in our only season at the club, because then we moved to join Juventus in Serie A. The reason for our moves this year, and the reason I didn't spend a long time at any one club, was mainly because of the transfers. We know that they were disappointing this year in the way they worked. You knew that top players would leave for no real reason. They didn't need to go. It's not like the clubs needed the money at any point, and there was some really questionable transfers. So yeah, Juventus, 26-27 season, went over to Serie A, won the league there. Europa League, should have won it with Juventus, but only finished in the quarterfinals, and also reached the final of the Coppa Italia, but didn't win it either. So far, 2 league titles, a Premier League, a Serie A, and a World Cup is what we've won as a player at this point in time. 57 goals, 27 assists in 55 games. This was the first season, I believe, where we averaged more goals than appearances. The rest of the seasons we were close, but this was the first year that we got 57 goals, 55 appearances, more than a goal a game. And again, we ended up with Juventus for the second season. We stayed 2 years at Juve, had plans to win the Champions League, won the Serie A once more, taking us to 4 trophies. We ended up reaching the Coppa Italia final this time and won it, so that takes us to 5 trophies. Champions League quarter-final stage, though. We just couldn't manage it yet. We did win Player of the Year this year, though. Our only time winning Player of the Year, so I was very happy to see that. 45 goals, 28 assists in 57 games. A little bit of a quieter season for us, as we would actually lose 10 games this year, which was, I say a lot, but we lost 8 the season before with Juve. So, yeah, Player of the Year in 2027-28, and a double winner, winning the Serie A, the Coppa Italia. So, happy with that. Into 2028-2029, where we would return back to England with Manchester City, the Champions League winners of the season before. This was the time where we set our sights on winning the Champions League. But again, we fell short. Semi-final stage, knocked out by Barcelona, who would go on to win the title. We also finished 3rd in the Prem. We did not win a single trophy in our season at Manchester City. 62 appearances, 57 goals, 35 assists. To not win anything is quite a story. So, following this, they let go of Haaland, they let go of loads of players, Tchouaméni, Camavinga. We knew that we had to look for a move, and on deadline day, PSG came calling. PSG that we linked up with Raphael and Mbappe so wonderfully in a treble-winning season where we would finally get our hands on the Champions League. Doing the treble, winning the French League, winning the Coupe Nationale, winning the Champions League, scoring 50 goals and 28 assists in all competitions. Have realised that that was our only season then where we did manage to have more goals than appearances, which was back in 26-27 with Juventus when we got 57 and 55. So we only managed it 1 year where we got more goals than appearances, which I say that, but that's still unbelievable when you look back, right? Because still, to have those kind of numbers is immense. And overall then, 405 appearances, 362 goals, 210 assists, 6 clubs, 4 league titles. We've got the French League, we've got a Serie A double and a Premier League title to our name. We won 2 domestic cups, which was a Coupe Nationale and a Coppa Italia. We won a Champions League and 2 World Cups as a player. And that, my friends, is where our journey ends. One final thing to show you before we go, and that is the personality points. We finished with 136,000 of them, dominant in the Maverick area, and we can see the boosted stats there, which is on your screen. And with that, that is all that I wanted to show you, I believe. So, I know I say it a lot, and truly, I appreciate each and every one of you who continue to support me, who show so much love on the videos and leave me lovely comments and all of that stuff. And I'm massively thankful to each and every one of you. And yeah, I just hope that I can continue to entertain you into EFC 24 and beyond. As I say, got big plans ahead of EFC 24. The next video on the channel you will see will hopefully, fingers crossed, if everything goes well with the release on Friday, be the start of our My Player journey for EFC 24. And it might be a little bit different this time around because after I released a poll on the community section of the channel, I asked you lovely people what you wanted us to do in terms of where we started our journey. It looks like we're starting in a lower division than the Premier League. So, yeah, I'm thinking might try and see how far we can get a lower division side before we look to potentially move on. But we'll see what happens with that. And we'll see what the game brings, because I'm hoping the transfers will be fixed for the next year's game and all of that stuff. We've also got a couple of videos coming out as well where I'll take over a specific team for one video and manage them and do that sort of stuff. I don't want to call it a rebuild because it's not really a rebuild. I'm just going to play career mode and enjoy it for a video. And then after that video is done, you can have your say with whichever team you want to see me take over next by leaving a comment. You can also tell me signings you want me to make as well. And just trying to really kind of get all of your thoughts and such for the new stuff on the channel. So yeah, I appreciate you all, and for the final time we're signing out for FIFA 23 My Player in what has been an incredible journey, both for me and hopefully for you, and I can't wait to do it all again. So until Friday, stay safe, have a great day, have a great evening, look after each other, much love to you all, and I'll see you all back here for the start of EFC 24. Adios.